Hari Om, and welcome to Chinmaya Mission Dallas Fort Worth's very first virtual banquet. My name is Venu Menon, and I'm a member of the board of CMDFW. Today we're celebrating the 30th anniversary of our founding. We thank all the individuals right from the outset who have helped with the founding, the sustenance, and the growth of our center over these past 30 years. I'm speaking to you today from Saket, where I'll be joined in a few minutes by Swami Sarveshananda, the resident Acharya of Chinmaya Mission Dallas Fort Worth, and Ashok Dandekar, our president. I know there are some of you watching and wondering, how long is this whole banquet going to take? So let me tell you right at the outset, it's going to take about an hour and 20 minutes. And remember, this is a one and only fundraiser. So I hope you'll support us by donating or pledging generously. You can donate or pledge by clicking the donate button on the top right of your screen. You can also donate by texting CMDFW to the number 41444. Or you can call our help desk at 972-782-5544. Remember, all donations are tax deductible, and you can see the tally as we go through the night at the bottom of your screen. If you do not want your name to be shown on the screen, please make sure you check the anonymous box when you donate. If you're pledging, we request that you honor your pledge before the end of the year. If you have technical difficulties, this is the first time we're using this virtual platform, so if your screen freezes up, please try clicking the play button or refresh the page or log out and then log back in. With that, let's get started. I'd like to invite Swami Sarveshananda to kick off this banquet by lighting the lamp at Saket. This will be followed by an invocation and bhajan by the Swaranjali music group.
Untitled
It feels a little weird speaking to an empty room, but if you were all here around me, you would be clapping your hands wildly in applause for these young performers. These Swaranjali singers who just sang the bhajan were trained by our music teacher, Sudha Ramakrishnan. Swaranjali is inspired by Swami Tejomayananda's vision of Swara to Ishvara, using the power of music to connect to the divine. These children presented a kriti on goddess Parvati in the ragam Lavangi, set to Adi Talam. The kriti was composed by the late Dr. Balamurali Krishna. Now, Swami Swarupananda, the head of Chinmaya Mission worldwide, has a message for all of us. Swamiji took over as the worldwide head from Swami Tejomayananda in January of 2017. And he's speaking to us from India. Prior to his taking over as the head of Chinmaya Mission worldwide, he was the regional head of Chinmaya Missions in Australia, UK, Africa, Middle East, and the Far East. So here's Swami Swarupananda.
Hari Om and greetings to all of you. You all gathered here for a very worthy cause, to celebrate as one big family. A story you may have heard, but inspired me a lot when I heard from our Puja Gurudev, Swami Chinmayananda. And he used to say it in his very humorous style, that Daddy always wonders, what does Mummy complain about? Because when he comes home, his angel is asleep and she looks absolutely tired, flustered, and complains that his naughty son is such a handful and takes away all her energy. He wonders, just looking after this angel, she is complaining? Till one day, when she has to go with some errands, she decides to leave him with his father. And the father thinks, she's always complaining. But just one afternoon with the father, and his reverence for his child's mother increases manifold. That restless boy, fidgeting with everything, touching everything, asking questions, does not allow the father to work in the office for a minute. And if you think there's anything more hazardous than an energetic child, let anyone know about it. He does not know what to do. But luckily he had a personal assistant who was a mature lady, and she came up to him and he said, I don't know what to do with him. And she said, he is your son, as restless as you are. Give him something to do, otherwise he will waste his energies, dissipate his energies in various different channels in all his mischief. So he said, what do I do? What do I give? Give him something to do that will take him some time and get him intrigued, get him involved. Father thought, what can I do? 3-year-old child saw in front of him, and she said, give him some puzzle to solve. And he saw a newspaper in front of him which had the map of the world. He tore it into pieces and said, my boy, come here. I'm giving you a big project. You're a big boy now. Fix the world for me, thinking that this boy will be struggling now, trying to see the shapes of the paper and trying to fix it up. But to his surprise, within a couple of minutes, the boy, who has not studied geography, who has probably not even seen the map of the world, no doubt today's children can Google everything, but this child quickly fixed up those torn pieces of paper and showed his father. Father was surprised. He said, "How did you fix the world?" And the boy said, "Turn it around." And when the father turned it around, it was the face of a child. And the child said, "I fixed the man and the world got fixed." The work of our great rishis has been to fix the human being that we are. Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda, in spreading this self-knowledge which is there in Vedanta, from toddlers to the highest spiritual aspirant, has done a great service not only to the present generation of his time or of the nearby era, but for eras to come. This work, Chinmaya Mission, continues, and our prayer is that maximum people benefit from it, from the most rural villages to the largest cities. People from any background, Chinmaya Mission reaches out to, and it is your seva, your contribution, your love that makes it all happen, that together we can build a great future for our children, our youth, and for generations to come. Hari Om.
Thank you, Pujya Swami Swarupananji, for your wonderful message to our CMDFW community. We sincerely appreciate that. I'm Ashok Dandekar, President of Chinmaya Mission DFW, and I'm going to give you a report of our activities through year 2020. As Venu mentioned earlier, CMDFW is celebrating 30th anniversary of its existence. What started in Kura family's home 30 years ago and supported by VK and Rupali Gupta with just 5 students has grown into a huge organization catering to 1,500 students across 3 locations in the Metroplex. As we all know, year 2020 has been unprecedented. We had COVID-19 pandemic, we had storms, we had floods, we had fires, we had election, and now we are talking about the second wave of COVID-19. So this has created pandemonium. It has changed lifestyles for both adults as well as children. However, in spite of all adversities, our Bal Vihar classes have continued. We were one of the first centers in North America to switch to the online mode in March 2020. Our AV and IT team deserves kudos for taking quick action in adopting the new technology. We successfully completed the last academic year with a drive-by graduation ceremony at Chitrakoot for 56 students.
Now, prior to the summer break, our Swamiji picked up on an idea of Chinmaya Mission West holding an e-Bal Vihar summer camp across North America. It had never been attempted before. Again, our AVIT team took leadership in making this a possibility. It was quite challenging to define technical requirements for 25 centers across North America, Canada, the Caribbean, and even United Kingdom. Special registration process had to be defined and implemented within a week. Special equipment had to be procured and delivered to all participating centers. The content portion was managed by our own Swamiji. He led a team of 15 Swamis and Brahmacharins using Mahabharata as the text for all grades. He provided detailed instructions on lesson plans. Grade-appropriate content was created for KG through 12. He assigned CHICS, Chinmaya Yuva Kendra, and Youth Empowerment Program graduates to assist each participating center. The result was simply stunning. A total of 5,500 students from KG through 12th grade across North America, Caribbean, and United Kingdom attended a 2-month, 5 days a week, and daily 2 hours of Bal Vihar instructions. Out of them, 2,000 were introduced to Chinmaya Mission for the first time. These students were later recruited by centers in their Bal Vihar program in fall. We continued the use of technology through the fall semester. Since August, we have consolidated Bal Vihar program in 2 Sunday sessions. Over 200 teachers are conducting classes on Zoom to teach Bal Vihar. In addition, we are conducting festivals and pujas also virtually. So the point is that CMDFW operations have continued as if business as usual format. So nothing has suffered for CMDFW members. Now this was for the children. Now for adults, Swamiji has been conducting Saturday satsangs. Also, Pujya Swami Swarupanandji and Pujya Guruji have been conducting discourses on Zoom and YouTube for over 6 months. Now you may wonder, this everything is being done virtually. What is happening with our facilities? Now let me tell you that in spite of attending everything on Zoom, our facilities have to be taken care of. Routine maintenance has to be carried out. Air conditioning and heating systems have to operate as usual. Facility cleaning happens regularly. With use of new technology, AV equipment had to be upgraded. Network had to be upgraded to cater to 1,500 Bal Vihar students online. Also, our facilities are getting old, and therefore they naturally need more maintenance. So the operating costs have not actually reduced. As I mentioned last year, the board had decided not to build a center on the Prosper property due to high costs. The property in Prosper has been put on sale. We have studied demographics in the DFW Metroplex, and the study shows that the Indian population will be growing in West Frisco area, which is west of the tollway. We will be looking for a property in that area. So Panchavati Center continues to be in our plans. And when we are ready to build our own center, we'll let you know. Now, what's the current plan? For today's banquet, our plan is to raise $200,000. Your donations will help us maintain and renovate our existing facilities and build a fund for Panchavati. By the way, your past donations are safe. We'll combine your donation dollars with your Panchavati contributions. When we plan the new building based on the footprint, we will define categories for various items of the facility, such as classrooms, assembly hall, temple, parking, AV, etc. And we'll give you the option to select a category before we allocate funds in your name. Now, I talked about this Chinmaya Mission DFW operations going on continuously, as if seamlessly throughout all these adversities. Now, this is all possible because of our amazing volunteer force. They are our backbone. More than 300 volunteers, including teachers, coordinators, and all other aspects of business, they are helping run the mission from day to day and for many years. Also, our special thanks to our acharyas, our Swami Sarveshananji, Brahmachari Hari Chaitanya, Brahmacharini Archana Chaitanya, Divya, Ashaji, and PBG for continuing to kindle spiritual quest in us. Now, we have not ignored the community. Our community outreach program has been going on, and our Seva team has been very active. To give you a couple of examples, when the pandemic started, we donated 150 N95 masks to the Irving Police Department. They were very appreciative of our donation. We teamed up with the Global Hindu Heritage Foundation to provide meals for the DFW Hindu community to first responders. We also provided financial assistance to the impacted Bhutanese families. Our recent Seva projects include snacks on Diwali Day. We provided 2,000 healthy snack bags for the homeless at Austin Street Shelter in Dallas. And on Thanksgiving Day, we provided meals to first responders in Dallas and Irving. Now coming to the donations. As Venu mentioned earlier, this is the only fundraising event we have in the entire year. So there are various ways you can make these donations. You can pay by check, you can pay by credit card, by texting CMDFW to 41444 or clicking the donate button at the top right of the screen. What we are urging is let's have 100% participation. Our pledge says giving more than what we take. So here is your opportunity to donate. Please donate generously, and I wish you all a wonderful and safe holiday season. Thank you, and Hari Om.
Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Hari Om. Hearty greetings to you all on this annual fundraising event. I consider this as your expression of gratitude to Pujya Gurudev for his soul-raising mission. The very fact that there are many centers with vibrant spiritual and cultural activities in Dallas-Fort Worth area shows that how relevant and beneficial the teaching of Pujya Gurudev has been, that has touched the lives of you all. For such a great person and his work, whatever you do or give is never enough. but all the same, you must do and give whatever you can with generosity and humility. I appreciate your continuous support to this noble cause. May God's grace and Puja Gurudev's blessings bring all peace, prosperity and happiness in your life. Thank you very much. Hari Om, Sri Gurubhyo Namaha, Hari Om.
We offer our heartfelt thanks to everyone who has donated or pledged. I know some of you have pledged or donated before the banquet. Thank you. Thank you very much. I have some really exciting news. A couple of our generous donors have reached out to us and offered to match your donations or pledges up to the amount of $35,000. And that's great. So if you were on the fence about donating or how much to donate, this is your opportunity. Your donation or pledge can be doubled. Now, it bears repeating that we're using our new virtual platform. So in case your screen freezes, please make sure you press the play button, refresh your page, or log out and log back in. At this time, let me introduce our keynote speaker, Swami Sarveshananda Saraswati, the resident Acharya of Chinmaya Mission, Dallas, Fort Worth. He arrived in Dallas in 2002 as Brahmachari Uddhav Chaitanya. And I know there are many of you in this watching today that were there on the day he arrived in Dallas, and we welcomed him. And over the last several years, he's had a huge influence on the growth of our center. In 2011, he was given Sannyasa Diksha by Swami Tejomayananda and became Swami Sarveshananda. Our Swamiji is also the National Director of Chinmaya Yuva Kendra, or CHEK, across North America. Under Swamiji's helm, our center has grown in size and scope, serving more children and adults in North Texas. Let me invite Swamiji to give the keynote address on faith, hope, and perseverance.
Thank you, Venuji. Hari Om. For the last 18 years, I've been attending the banquet at CMDFW, and it has almost become my traditional attire that I come in for the banquet, because my belief is it is an offering from me as well as from the entire DFW team to everyone that is a part of this family, a deep reverential thanks for being there as the extended family. So I said, though we are not going to have this one-on-one in person, but still I thought of continuing the tradition. And while wearing the jacket, that's when I found that a pen also is there in the pocket. And I would have been using it to give it to you for signing the checks, but that now also is taken care through the online process. So this year banquet, in such times wherein it is unthought of, my generation, my earlier generation also did not go through it. In such trying times, one thing that really helps us move forward is our sense of perseverance. Recently, because of this pandemic, There have been several students, several people that I am speaking to, counseling through the online portals. One Yuva Kendra member asked me that, Swamiji, this year should have been my year wherein I am graduating. I actually graduated. I was looking forward for the job. Now that is also hanging in the mid-air. After the final interview, there is no confirmation yet. I feel very uncertain. I feel very fearful of my future. What should I be doing or thinking? Luckily, I know him even from earlier, and I know that he was a history buff. So I asked him, hey, a similar kind of pandemic, when in the past, in history, did we go through? He said, 1910, the Spanish flu. He said, between 1910 and the end of World War II, can you tell me how many people lost their lives? So he quickly started adding up, and within a brief time, he came up with few millions in number. Unheard of numbers when you put all of them together. Then 2 atom bombs, starting with the Spanish flu, ending in the atom bombs. We went through a lot as a humanity, as the entire world. But look now, after 100 years, we have thrived. And one thing that helped us thrive is our sense of perseverance. But that can be strengthened only when I have hope. Hope is called Asha. That reminds me of a story from Puja Gurudev's story book for the Balavihar kids called Tarangini. It comes in series of books. One beautiful story there is a person being taken from this earth. He sees hell and he sees heaven, and he sees that in hell people are actually having a greater amazing time than those who are in heaven. And he's like, how come in hell all the descriptions that we hear that it is a very miserable place, but they seem to be enjoying? I'd like to pay a closer attention to them. So he was taken there. So it was exactly similar like heaven, that there were all beautiful things that they could enjoy. For example, say there was a table full of meals that were provided, and in heaven they were enjoying it. In hell also they were enjoying, but the caveat is that each person in that hell, this joint was locked. Meaning you could not bend your elbow to eat. But still they were enjoying it. How? The person picks up and feeds the next one, and they go in circle, and it comes back to feed you. The best way that we can transform even a hell-like situation into something which is endurable, enjoyable, and to be able to go through with cheerfulness is when we can build that hope. And how do we build that hope? By being there to provide for the next one next to me. If I can raise myself up to be there as a solution, to be there as a platform of stability for those who are around me, my family, my neighbors, my community, my peers, my friends, if I can be that hope, a ray of sunshine in their lives that they can bank upon, But if I have to be that ray of hope in their lives, then I need to find that stability, that sense of peace, that sanctuary of peace within myself. How do I find it? Long time ago, Ashokji had given me this, sent me a note, and he said, "Do you know the full form of ASAP?" I said, "As soon as possible." I said, "No, always say a prayer." A prayer is something which is lifting my mind and connecting it to the higher source. And this connection is where it unleashes the potential from within the individual. So in the last 10 months, every effort that has been put by CMDFW, its volunteers, its task forces, is to create that environment and opportunity, though it is online, to give that moment wherein we can connect to that higher and pick ourselves up, gather ourselves up, so that connected deep within to that higher, I can find that stability, I can find that sense of direction and peace. Thereby, I can be a ray of hope and sunshine to the others around me. And when Gurudev says, in the last line of the pledge, we know our responsibilities, give us the ability and courage to fulfill them. This is how we build that courage and wisdom so that we can together get through these trying times and get across stronger than what we were ever before. So I invoke Puja Gurudev, the entire Guru Parampara, and that Bhagavan to give us that strength, courage, and wisdom to get across in a stronger footing. Before I wind up, from the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank every single one of you who have contributed in several ways, especially when we started this Balavihar, all the teachers, all the admins, all the people who have been putting scores of hours in trying to be there for each other. So to each one of you, my humble thanks, and may Gurudev be there as our strength. Hari Om.
In a virtual world where orchestras could not meet in person, 13 kids had an idea that would change the future of virtual music for us all. It all started with a Zoom call.
Hi, my name is Chinmaya and I play violin.
Hi, my name is Sanchana Kumar and I play the mridangam.
Hi, my name is Amit Konda and I play the clarinet.
Oh, this is my music. Hari Om everyone, my name is Suhani Oledi and I play violin.
Hari Om, my name is Namrata Iyer and I play the flute.
Hi, my name is Varun Rao and I play the violin.
My name is Krishna and I play the mridangam.
My name is Maya Murali and I play the violin.
My name is Thea and I play the flute. My name is Devashri and I play the flute.
Hi, I'm Pranav Balamurli and I play flute.
Oh, Hariom. My name is Ananya Chakravarti and I play violin.
Hi everyone, my name is Anish Chinny and I play the cello. Today we're going to be performing Raghuvamsha Sudha, composed by Patnam Subramanya Iyer in the Ragam Kadana Kutuhalam, set to Adi Talam. We hope you all enjoy.
What you just saw was an amazing rendition by Chinmaya Vadya Tarangini. This student orchestra was created only 3 months ago, and this is their very first performance. Wow. Even in the midst of the pandemic, these individuals found time to create this very new facet of Chinmaya Mission Dallas Fort Worth. Rupashri Shankar, Amey Bellari, Ritvik Ramesh, and Urja Joshi were the coaches for this team. Now, I must remind you once again that if you haven't donated, this is your chance to make a donation or pledge. And the donate button is at the top right of your screen. Now, you've heard from Swamiji, you've heard from our president, Ashok Dandekar, you've also heard from our Balavihar children. It's now time to hear from recent Balavihar graduates about their perspectives of their time in Dallas, attending Balavihar, as well as their views about the next 30 years of Chinmaya Mission Dallas. Brahmachari Hari Chaitanya, who himself is a recent Balavihar graduate, will chair this Zoom panel, and it's a discussion on graduate perspectives. The panelists are Punya Chittajalu, who graduated from Chinmaya Mission Balavihar in 2013 and is now doing her medical residency at UCLA, Sanjoli Agarwal, who graduated in 2016 and is a software engineer at Microsoft, Vishnu Basude, who graduated from Balavihar in 2017 and is a student at UT Dallas, and Ritik Patnaik, who graduated from Balavihar in 2019 and is a student at MIT. Now, after this panel discussion, you'll hear our children chanting the Bhagavad Gita, but we'll come to that in a few minutes. So now, let's go to the panel. Hariji, please take it away.
Looking into the future, right now CMDFW is celebrating 30 years, and let us continue the great work we've done for 30 more years is one of our themes this year. We're all proud products of Chinmaya Mission in Dallas. Where do you see the relevance and impact of Chinmaya Mission growing in Dallas over the next 30 years or so?
The impact that Chinmaya Mission is going to have in the next 10 years is going to be huge. Also because there are so many products that are consistently being churned out of the system, right? Like all of us here are products of the Balavihar program of Chinmaya Mission, and we're taking that forward with us. So the only way is up, I think.
Something going forward is going to be fun is to see all of us graduates who all had gone to the classes together growing up, all realizing the power of Chinmaya Mission and its effect on us and going back to teaching. Because I think that one of the best ways to fully understand what we learned is to teach it as well. And so I think the future of Chinmaya Mission is going to be our generations of students becoming teachers and cultivating like other students.
In the coming like 30 years, being a parent who's able to not only like mix with other parents and be the adult in the Chinmaya Mission like environment, but also like giving that next generation an opportunity to learn about your culture, to learn about morals and values, and to go through this whole process will be really cool.
When I think about, us as parents going forward, a lot of us, our parents grew up in India, and then here, Chinmaya Mission was very instrumental in helping us preserve our culture here in America and in the Dallas area. And so when I think about as a parent, what are the tools I have to help my future kid, Chinmaya Mission is definitely going to be something, I would want to have that, helped me, that can help the next generation preserve our Hindu traditions.
Interesting hearing us talk about being parents.
I know. Many, many years from now.
Sooner than you think. Sooner than you think. In 5 years, all of you will have 2 kids each.
Oh, God.
You're going to come to me and you're going to say, Huddy, our kids are misbehaving. They're not listening to me. Can you please set them straight? And I'm going to say, dude, I knew your parents growing up. I knew how much trouble they gave their parents. Keep doing what you're doing. That's what I'm going to say. So, Ritik, out of the 5 of us, you're the only one that attended undergrad, not in Dallas, but outside, all the way in Boston. So having that huge shift come right after high school, what role did your Balavihar experience help you in that transformation, in having that new change in your life?
Faith played a lot into a sense of security when things were so uncertain, moving to a new place. I remember one small thing that I would do, at least like in terms of academics, is before every major exam that I would have in my classes, I would just write Om Tat Sat at the top right of my page, because it made me remember like who I was, and it gave me a sense of strength before I would start these exams. It might be something really small and may not have really helped, but for me, like it gave me a sense of like energy to allow me to like move forward. And other than that, I think in terms of like meeting new people, like I know Chinmaya mission and what I've been taught in terms of traditions, and like the kids from all around the world would come. And I remember meeting kids from India, and they would be like, oh, you know about, Dashera, and you know about Diwali, and you know about all these different festivals. And I'll be like, yeah, we would celebrate them back home. So it was a lot of different things, but I think like a sense of security and a sense of strength came from like my faith and what I'd learned from Chinmaya mission.
Purnya, you're one of the two teachers in our group here. So starting out, I think you were teaching 4th grade, right? Your first few years when you started teaching. So we go through Bal Vihar antagonizing our teachers, whether we realize it or not, whether it's intentional or not. So starting your teaching, what did you learn and what kind of new respect did you gain for your previous Bal Vihar teachers going through some of those experiences as an early teacher?
Quieting down a class of 20 is the greatest feat of mankind. It just takes a couple of students snickering here and there, and then pretty soon you've lost all control. I don't think I realized how much preparation goes into being a teacher, because just as a student, we only see half of what goes on, but I was reading through so many texts and learning so many bhajans and preparing games and reading through the syllabus just to learn enough so I could answer all of their questions, because kids they're pretty smart and they ask some pretty pointed questions.
So Julie, you attended SMU, okay? A place that is not known for its Indian population. So that is a situation, I think, going from Frisco where you were to SMU, where that people like you, at least that look like you, who go through your experiences, is not the same. So did Chinmaya mission experiences help you navigate? How did that help you in that situation?
In particular, we have these, Indian student associations at universities, but often, those are cultural organizations, right? They're not Hindu organizations. And so having CHIC at SMU when we were able to revive it was really, really something I looked forward to every week, and which really helped center me. And even, if we didn't have as many people attending, even whatever was there, it felt so much, so much fulfillment came out of having that.
So Vishnu, you're a high school teacher in our Frisco Center. When you're teaching high school, you've done it for a few years now. Do you ever feel a bit of a disconnect with this next generation, kind of? And do you have to work that much harder to maybe relate to them? Or do you feel you're always in tune with them? What has that experience been like as you grow older and you're a high school teacher?
Definitely understand the pressure to keep up with their culture. I take a little bit out of my day just to like learn a new word or two, or like a new dance, or like some TikTok trend or something. And then I'll talk to them about it, and it just opens their eyes, and they're like, oh, all the kids that weren't paying attention are now paying attention. And all the kids that were paying attention, now are paying even more attention. Now I feel like I'm getting old, and in a couple of years, I might be ready to be called uncle.
I'll be the first one to call you uncle, man. I'll make it happen. I'll start the whole thing. When we graduate from this institution, CMDFW, whether we like it or not, whether we realize it or not, we are stamped with that. And with that carries certain responsibilities. In your mind, what are those responsibilities?
Manava Seva is Madhava Seva. So service to man is service to the Lord. And I think that I really just try to embody that thought in my day-to-day work. And it's been very rewarding.
Our graduation plaque really embodies what we've learned. And the message on the plaque says that in matters of opinion, flow like water. In matters of principle, stay firm like a rock. And when we're, exposed to this whole big world graduating from Balvihar, we're going to get differing matters of opinion, and we're going to get different points of view on various different subjects. But it's very important to remember who you are and your identity and your morals and your values and stick to those, but also be open to dialogue in terms of different issues that you may face in life.
First and foremost, if someone is in a position to and is able to stay connected to the actual Chinmaya community, whether that's, being a chick, being a teacher, staying involved and giving back is a responsibility for sure. But besides that, and if that's not possible, imbibing the Hindu values and continuing to seek out that knowledge for yourself and live that truth in your day-to-day, so much so that, it can positively affect those around you, is a tremendous responsibility of a Balvihar graduate.
The most important one is by embodying all of the characteristics, all of the lessons that you have learned throughout your entire life through Chinmaya Mission. So by being someone who is constantly studying about themselves, constantly doing their best to be their best, I think you're the perfect ambassador for the Chinmaya Mission program as a whole.
I loved playing basketball outside in the little, the hoop we had outside socket. So I was one of the kids who would, tend to break stuff. And we, one time we broke the basketball hoop, and that was not a good thing, of course. I'm going to go and choose Vishnu. And the category we're going to be playing is broken rules.
Oh man, okay.
There's so many rules you broke, it's hard for you to...
Yeah, actually. All of my teachers would make us sit cross-legged in class. And if you know me, you know I'm the least flexible, physically flexible person on the planet. So sitting cross-legged was an impossible task for me. So I would always have my legs out, and then I would always make up some excuse about how I hurt my knee or something like that. And so I'd always be sitting with my legs out in class. Punya, what was your most embarrassing moment of Balvihar?
We were having a buffet of lunch or something. And so all of us had our styrofoam plates, and there was 100 people down in the basement getting food. And I guess I was just feeling particularly hungry. So I was loading up my plate, and I distinctly remember there's a ton of people behind me, and I was holding my food in the plate, loading it up, and it cracked down the middle. And all of the food on my plate fell into the dish of chole or something. And there were all these people behind me watching. And I quickly grabbed another plate and was just trying to scoop out all of my nonsense. And my whole class was around me watching, dying laughing. And oh my goodness, I was beet red. All right, Sanjoli, can you give me an instance of why me?
Somehow from a very young age, my sister Arushi and I, in our classes respectively, would always end up being the narrator. It's not that the burden of the task completely fell upon us, but when we were young, that took a lot of practice and effort, and we probably thought to ourselves at some point, why me, as we were practicing saying these things over and over again with our parents. And then as we got older, it just kind of became a thing, and we were just always the narrators for these class plays. So in that sense, that's something that kind of never left from K through 12, is we have a skit okay, yes, I can say this introduction and try to narrate through the play.
It's always a pleasure to hear from our Balvihar graduates and to see the amazing things that they accomplish. A big, big thank you to Vishnu, Sanjoli, Punya, and Rithik for their insights. Now, this was technically called a panel, but it really felt like 5 friends sharing stories of their Balvihar experiences. And thank you to them for reminding us that a person's spiritual unfoldment does not end when they graduate from Balvihar, it simply begins. Hari Om.
Om Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha Atha Dashamodhyayah Vibhuti Yogaha वक्ष्यामि हितकाम्यया न मे विदुःसुरगणाः प्रभवं न महर्षयः अहमादिर्हि देवानां महर्षीणां च सर्वशः यो मामजमनादिं च वेत्ति लोकमहेश्वरम् असम्मूढः समत्येषु सर्वपापैः प्रमुच्यते बुद्धिर्ज्ञानमसम्मोहः क्षमा सत्यं दमः शमः सुखं दुःखं भवो भावः भयं च भयमेव च अहिंसा समता तुष्टिः तपोदानं यशो यशः भवन्ति भावा भूतानां मत्त एव पृथग्विधाः महर्षयः सप्त पूर्वे चत्वारो मनवस्तथा मद्भावा मानसा जाताः येषां लोक इमाः प्रजाः एतां विभूतिं योगं च मम यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः सोऽविकम्पेन योगेन युज्यते नात्र संशयः अहं सर्वस्य प्रभवः मत्तः सर्वं प्रवर्तते इति मत्वा भजन्ते मां बुधा भावसमन्विताः मच्चित्ता मद्गतप्राणाः बोधयन्तः परस्परं कथयन्तश्च मां नित्यं तुष्यन्ति च रमन्ति च तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन मामुपयान्ति ते तेषामेवानुकम्पार्थम् अहमज्ञानजं तमः नाशयाम्यात्मभावस्थः ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता अर्जुन उवाच परं ब्रह्म परं धाम पवित्रं परमं भवान् पुरुषं शाश्वतं दिव्यम् आदिदेवमजं विभुम् आहुस्त्वां ऋषयः सर्वे देवर्षिर्नारदस्तथा असितो देवलो व्यासः स्वयं चैव ब्रवीषि मे सर्वमेतद्ऋतं मन्ये यन्मां वदसि केशव न हि ते भगवन् व्यक्तिं विदुर्देवानदानवाः स्वयमेवात्मनात्मानं वेत्थत्वं पुरुषोत्तम भूतभावनभूतेश देवदेव जगत्पते वक्तुमर्हस्य शेषेण दिव्याह्यात्मविभूतयः याभिर्विभूतिभिर्लोकान् इमां त्वं व्याप्य तिष्ठसि कथं विद्यामहं योगिन् त्वां सदा परिचिन्तयन् केषु केषु च भावेषु चिन्त्योऽसि भगवन्मया विस्तरेणात्मनो योगं विभूतिं च जनार्दन भूयः कथय तृप्तिर्हि शृण्वतो नास्ति ते कथयिष्यामि दिव्या ह्यात्मविभूतयः प्राधान्यतः कुरु श्रेष्ठ नास्त्यन्तो विस्तरस्य मे अहमात्मा गुडाकेश सर्वभूताशयस्थितः अहमादिश्च मध्यं च भूतानामन्त एव च आदित्यानामहं विष्णुः ज्योतिषां रविरंशुमान् मरीचिर्मरुतामस्मि नक्षत्राणामहं शशी ॐ तत्सत् इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे विभूतियोगो नाम दशमोऽध्यायः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।
Hari Om. Did I just hear that we just crossed 250K? $256,000. Wow. Thank you so much. I mean, that's amazing. I'm speaking to a kind of an empty room here at Saket, but if we were all together, we would be clapping wildly. So thank you to everybody who's made that happen. But I must come back to the issue we faced earlier today. First of all, our deepest apologies, most sincere apologies for the technical issue we encountered in the first part of the program. You know, our AV team and the Banquet team did so many dry runs. We anticipated various scenarios that could go wrong, and we came up with solutions. We even anticipated a scenario where if Saket power and internet goes off, we have stationed Brahmachari Hari Chaitanya at a remote location with a laptop so we could continue streaming until we got back. We had anticipated many options, but clearly we did not anticipate YouTube slowing us down. But I am grateful for the AV team for recovering quickly and getting us back to where we could watch the rest of the program in very smooth fashion. So thank you very much to Rajesh and Rakesh and the AV team for making that happen. Now, overall, when you look at the evening, besides the fact that we're deeply grateful for the wonderful tally we have for donations, we have to acknowledge that there are many people who pledged before the banquet and donated before the banquet, and thank you to all of you. We also want to especially acknowledge Dr. Nick and Lena Schroff, who at the last minute came through with a $25,000 pledge to sponsor the Chitrakoot Assembly Hall. So Nick and Lena, thank you so much for making that happen. We appreciate it. Now, along the way, you heard the children reciting shlokas, you heard them singing bhajans, you heard them recite Bhagavad Gita without any assistance by memory. We also heard our panelists speak about their experiences while they were at Chinmaya Mission. All in all, this is just a glimpse. What you saw today is a short glimpse of the kinds of things that Chinmaya Mission attempts to teach our children during their time in Balavihar. And it brings out the very best Hindu in all of us and teaches the values that we all want to live our lives by. So for that, I want to thank Swami Sarveshanandji and the entire Guru Parampara for giving us this education that we cherish so much. Now, I wish I was speaking to you from a room full of people, as I said, but we're not. It is an empty room here at Saket, and it feels weird, but I'm certainly optimistically looking forward to the day past the pandemic when we can get together at Saket and Chitrakoot and Frisco, and we can even get together more socially for Diwali Puja and Garba, and even our next banquet. So I'm certainly looking forward to that time, and I hope it comes really, really soon. So at this point, besides my apologies and also our acknowledging with thanks the contributions that everybody has made, I'd like to pass the microphone on to Ashok Dandekar first for his closing remarks, and then to Swami Sarveshananji. Thank you, and Hari Om.
Hari Om. So thank you, Venu. I would like to thank Pujya Guruji, Swami Tejomayanji, and Pujya Swami Swarupananji for their messages. We are grateful to both of them. Pujya Guruji, in his 23-year tenure as head of Chinmaya Mission worldwide, has visited us many times. And also, throughout, he encouraged us to think big. So we are sincerely thankful for that. Also, Swami Swarupananji has visited us in 2016, 2017, and 2019, and we hope that he will continue his visits to Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Also, I would like to thank the AV team, especially Rakesh Nunaha and Rajesh Venkatraman, and all the people supporting the team. I'd like to thank all the teachers, parents, and attendees for joining us today. And also special thanks to the board of Chinmaya Mission DFW for supporting this cause. Last thing, we have in our congregation many frontline workers, and they have been risking their lives in order to protect others. So my sincere thanks to all of them for what they have done through the pandemic. Thank you very much. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Wow. In the last 10 months, staring at the screen and speaking to all of you, and even this banquet, still feels that we miss having all of you here. And in spite of that, thank you for your support. We just touched 257K. It's a very heartwarming feeling that there are so many out there who are supporting the cause for everything that we are doing to reach out and be there for the community. So the two people, those who are on the front line, our teachers and the amazing volunteers who are at the back end, that always are there, whether it was the summer online camp or Balavihar or this banquet, can't thank them enough. So on behalf of the entire Chinmaya Mission family, to all the sevaks and sevikas at whatever capacity that what you bring to make Gurudev's Sankalpa, Gurudev's vision possible, that the next generation gets benefited from it. Thank you, each one of you. Today we had a small glitch, and many of them had started reaching out, texting, hey, we missed out on this portion. So since everything is in a format where we can record it and then we can upload it on YouTube, rest be assured, by tomorrow or by tonight, you should be getting the lovely, beautiful pieces of music, Bhagavad Gita chanting, and the beautiful ensemble of young artists with their instruments, Vadya Tarangini. And their launch is this year, and through this kind of a environment, and still they pull it out with such amazing grace. Thanks to all the teachers, parents who have made this possible. At the end, I would only say, even right now while we are here, we were masked, gloves, and all precautions were taken. So moving forward, until we have a viable solution, which is a vaccine which comes out, I would say, please, please, be cautious. I cannot insist enough. Parties, travels, backyard gatherings, they can wait. Because I get to hear what people go through when they go through the ICU. And it's not where we would want to be. So please be careful. And lastly, I would invoke Puja Gurudev, the entire Guru Parampara, and that Bhagwan's grace on each one of us. That may we have stability, peace, courage to go through and come out strong. And the way we are responding, we will come out strong. So let me say the Shanti Patha. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृतिं स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि नारायणायेति समर्पयामि सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Thank you one and all, and thank you to the Banquet team led by Venuji. Great job. Thank you.